You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Mentally feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you push it 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats, circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What is going on, y'all? We are back with another episode of Pyro Power Hour. I hope you guys are having a blessed and fantabulous day. It has been a heck of a week, so we're going to go ahead and try our best to navigate accordingly. What is going on, Michaela? Thank you for joining. Oh, Lord, come on now. We have 3.5 years to go. Listen, we're going to get into it. It's craziness going on right now. It is absolutely bananas what is happening, and there's some things that you probably don't know yet that we're going to go ahead and break down into the show. So we'll go ahead and navigate that accordingly, make sure you guys are well informed and ready to get things going. All right, give me 1 second. Let me move this over here. All right. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure you guys hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help your algorithm, and it lets people know what we're doing up in here. Okay. All right, y'all. We ain't got no breaking news today, because everything's crazy. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right. So let's just get on into this thing right here. All right. So first things first, I want to ask you a quick question, y'all, because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, and I was like, I want to know what the Pyromaniacs think about this. So one of my friends asked me on Facebook this question, and he framed it differently. So I'm gonna I wanted to frame it this way to see how you guys would navigate it. So you're the producer, you got unlimited amount of bucks, right? What type of content lineup would you have if you were the producer? So for me, like if you were the one creating the lineup, the producer, you're doing the whole thing, the whole shebang. Okay, you ain't got no problem, unlimited money, and it has to be people who are alive today. Okay, because I thought about that too. It has to be people who are alive today. This will be my lineup. My lineup would be Janet Jackson as the headliner, obviously, and then I would also have Maya, who would not open up for her, but be like the mid show or the middle of the show, and then Victoria Monet would open up the show. That would be my lineup. I'm very interested to see what you guys do. I think that would be one of the dopest concerts ever. I think it would be action-packed. I think it would be great. You get a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old, and all of the legendariness. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to know. Also, I saw this, and this was wild. I had to be like, what? Excuse me? All right. Check this out, y'all, because this was crazy.
Juan, dámela, Juan. Te ando buscando para hacerte la rococada, la bola mágica, la mira pasada, me la trago entero. Y no te dejo nada. Aquí te dejo a mi hermana, la serpiente.
What was that? Y'all be doing too much on the internet. Like, for real. Like, that's wild. Anywho, let's get to the rest of the show. We got some birthdays going on, and I'm running through because right. That's what I said, Michaela. Let's see here. Anything ratchet like Zeus Network without add a little Christian rock and even put Donald Trump in the mix. I don't know. It's a lot going on. We're gonna get to all of that. But we want to say a very special happy birthday to Rachel Maddow. For those who don't know Rachel Maddow, she's on MSNBC. She is a legendary reporter and journalist. Definitely check her out if you haven't. It's like listening to a lecture, and she's super well informed and just a dope human being. So Rachel Maddow was born on April 1st, 1973, and is a multiple Emmy award-winning TV host and political commentator. Best known as the host of NBC's The Rachel Maddow Show. MSNBC's Rachel Maddow Show, and the Air America radio show by the same name. Boasting a bachelor's degree in public policy from Stanford University, along with a doctorate in philosophy and politics from Oxford University. Maddow has publicly stated that her views are liberal. She is also the United States' first openly lesbian host of a major primetime news program, and is in a committed relationship with artist and photographer Susan Mikula. So happy birthday to her. Hope she's having a great day. Shout out to her and all the great work that she do. I wanted to do something in remembrance. Usually we would do like a happy heavenly birthday, but I wanted to do something, a new segment called in remembrance, just to kind of give some kudos to people who have made pathways in the past. So I want to shout out Selena. Selena was an American singer and songwriter known as the Queen of Tejano music. Her contributions to music and fashion made her one of the most celebrated Mexican-American entertainers of the late 20th century. She passed away on March 31st, 1995, and she was murdered, actually. And so, man, it's not her birthday, but I definitely wanted to pay homage to her. Her birthday is actually April 16th. And so, you know, is that an Aries? Somebody help me out. Is that Aries? I think that's still Aries season. But shout out to her and all of the stuff that she's done. And just a quick note: Yolanda Saldivar got denied bail or early release. So she's still serving in time. So good for her ass. And good luck to you, girl. Anywho, that's all I got for that. So let's see here. Do we have anything? Yeah, let's get into what's popping, y'all. A little pop culture for you. A little pop culture. Now I'm not gonna play the video. I'm not gonna give him too much time because like this really pissed me off. Y'all know who he is. Kanye West. I knew they weren't gonna let that lady out of prison. She was gonna get her. Listen, it was for her safety. I just want to let everybody know that Pyro Media doesn't promote violence. Just throwing that out there. But Kanye West is on some other type of mess. He was on the DJ Academics, or did an interview with DJ Academics, and he was just going off on Jay-Z and Pusha T and John Legend. I don't even know why he even attacked John Legend. And Kim Kardashian, we know why with that. A whole mess. He was like, I didn't even want kids with Kim Kardashian. Well, you had kids with her, girl. And then you did it in this. Like, I don't even understand what this is. It's one thing with Candace Owens where I just can't stand Candace Owens. And we can have political debates about Candace Owens. And we know that she's not invited to the cookout. But I don't even think Candace Owens would have did this. Now, she'll probably come up with excuses because I know that they're friends. She'll probably come up with excuses to kind of justify why he did this. All hot mess express. I don't understand what your problem is, girl, but you need to take a very long nap. Very long nap. At this point, this looks like two crazy fools. This is my kids. Right. I've been canceled Kanye. Y'all still giving him chances. He came out with that video with Tiana Taylor, and we were like, oh, maybe he can come back. No, girl. I'm good. Beyonce. Despite a groundbreaking year in country music, Beyonce being snubbed by the 2025 Academy of Country Music Awards has fans upset. The full nominations list dropped Thursday, March 27th, and Queen Bee's name was found nowhere. The Cuff-It singer wasn't listed among nominees, even after winning multiple country Grammys. Her album Cowboy Carter snagged Album of the Year, Country Album of the Year, and Best Country Duo / Group Performance for Two Most Wanted, featuring Miley Cyrus. But when the Academy of Country Music dropped their nominations, Beyonce was left out entirely. Are we shocked by this? What's up, Stevie? Hi, Kwame. Hi, We're not talking to Kanye, right? We're done with that. Let's see here. Yes. You meant everyone. My bad. Okay, I thought you were talking about "Be Gone" to Kanye West. Okay. Beyonce, I love you, but you know them. People don't love you, and I'm gonna have to. You're right. Exactly. Like I don't know why people were surprised by this, but it is what it is. She's still one of the things that I like about Beyonce is that she knows who she is. She don't need that. At this point, we don't need to. I don't need to defend her. She doesn't need to defend herself. It is what it is. We know that that was blatant racism, and it's going to be what it's going to be, right? It's going to be what it's going to be. All right, y'all. Let's move on. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Have y'all been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? This current season, we talked about the numbers last week, but apparently there's been some issues going on. If you saw the latest episode, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to go into a deep dive with it, but apparently based off of what's been going on with Portia said something or snubbed kind of Shamia. She snubbed Shamia in the last episode, and people are talking about like what's going on with her, and it's been kind of weird this season with Shamia and Portia. I don't know what's going on with her, but this season's been kind of good. Michaela says this has been the best season so far for me. I have not said to cancel it. Listen, I have said the same thing. I have to give it to I think they're under Peacock now. I don't think they're under Bravo anymore. I think Peacock is producing it rather. Shout out to Peacock. They did the same thing with New York when they rebooted New York. Peacock took over New York and also Miami, and those are two of the best shows or franchises I think. But I'm here for it. It's a good show. But take a look at what went down with Shamia in the last episode. So a little spoiler alert.
Dinner, and I play my music for everybody.
Okay, here we go. Is this you? No, that's not her. That's Drew.
People are talking over it, not respecting my music.
That's me. I don't know your singing voice. You gotta listen.
That was hurtful.
You know that ain't Shamia voice.
Especially seeing as though Portia's a good friend of mine, and I would have thought she, would have at least let the people hear the song.
Are you on it?
Portia. And the fact that, it was like a thing, like, oh no, this is Drew's song, stop. Why would I be playing Drew's song when I've been singing since I was able to talk? I don't know. That's crazy. I wouldn't get on this platform and promote somebody else. I mean, I will support other people, but as far as promoting, I'm promoting my own damn music. This is what I do.
Why do I feel like it's a diss track?
I talked to her about it, and I'm gonna have to you'll see how that all unfolds. But I hope you like Never Had.
Girl, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I thought that was super shade, super deep shade from Portia, and I was shocked that Portia would throw shade at Shamia of all people, because Shamia's just been riding and dying for her since the beginning. So I don't know. Even when the whole debacle with the whole Candy Boris and Phaedra debacle happened, and that scandal, like, hey Dr. Ho, what's up, King? All that stuff, like Shamia was still riding for Portia. I don't know. I just feel like Portia's been real, and I like Portia. She's one of my favorite housewives, and I really hope that she's not turning into. I mean, she's kind of a mean girl. Like, it is whatever. Most of those girls are mean girls on there, but like, I really hope that she's not turning into like a Giselle mean girl. And that's what I fear. So, but we'll see what's going on with it. We'll see how everything goes down. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, y'all. And when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and get into some things, and get into the news of the day. All right. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back after these commercials. All right, y'all. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
All right, y'all, we're black, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, so I do appreciate you guys for tuning on in. Dr. Holt just ran up in here when he said, "Don't make me get Portia in my..." Right. She is, and it's because her husband got deported. Listen, I don't know what's going on with Portia, but I pray that she don't turn into one of them mean girls, because I like Portia. I really do. I do, girl. I like you, girl. Don't be an ass. Come on, power to the people. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into some things here. Put this over here. All right, what's happening today? So today's April Fool's, y'all. But I think April Fool's is canceled. I'm not even gonna go into the whole. Y'all know the history of April Fool's Day. April Fool's canceled because we already have a fool for April, and it's just a lot of foolishness, a lot of foolery, a lot of tomfoolery. Okay, girl. Like I just can't. It's too much. So I don't want nobody. I think it was canceled today. I don't think nobody has the energy or capacity to sit here and do April Fools for anybody. It's too much. All right, that's it. We're gonna skip on right by that. Okay, praise Jesus. All right, let's get into some world news. All right. Oh God, we're gonna start with this already. My Jesus, my Lord, help me. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this. First up. Help me, Lord. So y'all know that y'all's president is over here trying to get Greenland. Okay, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know when he thought that it was okay to just go up in people's places and just say, "Oh, these are my things. I'm just going to take it because we're the most powerful country in the world right now." Are you kidding me? So he's been talking about taking Greenland. Mind you. Greenland has given full access to their land. They have a base. We have a base there. And it's one of the most forward operating bases that we have in the world. And it's strategically located. So I don't understand why we need to take Greenland. Like, why do we need to absorb it? And why do you think that if we did that would look at all good in the world? Look what happened with Russia. And what's going on with Russia, and how the world and the EU is looking at Russia in such a dictator type way, and that they're a menace. You want that to be the look of the U.S.? And you're over here threatening Canada, talking about it needs to be the 51st state. What? Do you know that Canada is like left leaning? Are you serious? So even if they did agree to that. That's not good for the Republicans. Like, I don't understand it. It's wild. Anyway, back to this. So, this is what's going on with Greenland, and this is what he's been talking about. Check out what Greenland has to say.
President Trump says he will do whatever it takes to take control of Greenland. Speaking to an NBC reporter, Trump said that includes military force, but it probably won't be needed. This comes one day after Vice President Vance visited a U.S. military base in Greenland. Speaking to troops, he said the island is important for defense and economic reasons. The trip has sparked international backlash. The foreign minister of Denmark, which owns Greenland, released this video on social media.
And of course, we are open to criticism. But let me be completely honest. We do not appreciate the tone in which it's being delivered. This is not how you speak to your close allies. And I still consider Denmark and the United States to be close allies.
The foreign minister went on to say he's open to expanding the U.S. military presence in Greenland and that Denmark is already investing more in Arctic security.
Child, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the man. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I get it strategically, it makes sense, but it would make sense if Greenland wasn't our allies already. It would make sense if we weren't already had a presence already in Greenland. And Greenland, of all people, why would you want to like attack? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then the verbiage, the rhetoric, who's your communications director? Why are you like, what crack are they smoking? Why? And you know what? Alyssa Farah Griffin said something on the Views podcast today when because I forget the producer's name, but he was asking her, like, what did you actually do for the government? And she was basically explaining like what her job was, what the position of a communications director was, and how close she was. Like, and she was saying that it was it would be the best job in the world if it was another administration, because being the communications director for Trump, you're out there doing the messaging, you're going out there, and then Trump tweets something stupid, and that contradicts everything that they've been working on all day. So I don't know. I don't know if his communications director is like saying, "Hey, Trump, you can't say this, bro. Like, what the hell?" Or if all of them were just like crazy. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Economic reasons, yes, to enrich their pockets with our tax-paying dollars. Yeah, baby, all I have to say is Cory Booker stood on business. He did, and we're going to get to him quite shortly. Let's move on. So there's a lot going on in Gaza right now. Just take a look, y'all. This is probably one of the most stressful times in that region. Like, I don't know what they want from the Palestinians. Like, I just don't understand. You know, I think they basically proved to y'all that they're not a part of Hamas. So now, like, Hamas is over there treating them a certain way, Israel's over there treating them a certain way, and nobody's thinking about the people that are in the middle. But that's here nor there. Take a look.
Israel has issued a new evacuation.
Hold on one second, y'all. Let me go ahead and put it over here so you guys can get it and take a look. Here we go.
Israel has issued a new evacuation order for southern Gaza. It's the biggest such order since Israel relaunched its offensive in the Palestinian territory earlier this month. We've been listening to Israeli army radio, which says evacuation orders now apply to about a fifth of Gaza. The health ministry there, which is run by Hamas, said more than 1,000 people have now been killed in the territory since Israel resumed its strikes. Here's our Middle East correspondent Yolande Nell explaining where people go when evacuation orders are issued.
Well, what happens usually is that the Israeli military, through its Arabic spokesman, puts out these notifications on social media. One came through this morning showing this big area of the southernmost part of Gaza along the border with Egypt, covering all of Rafah, parts of Khan Yunis, all of that in red. And people being told that they should flee to Al-Mawasi. This is a coastal area, sprawling tented camp area now, and we have been hearing from BBC journalists there that people have started to arrive. They rapidly packed up their belongings. People, tens of thousands of them, had gone back, particularly to the eastern part of Rafah, after the Israeli military withdrawal during the recent 2 months of ceasefire. A lot of Rafah had been left in ruins by the Israeli military offensive that began there last May, but people did find in the east some buildings to go back to. Now, Eid al-Fitr, it's the important Islamic holiday, of course, but people have not really been able to mark that. Instead, that they have been fleeing once again, heading off to this area in the coast, some also going to Khan Yunis, a bit further to the north.
And just briefly, Yolande.
So, like, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's already just sad. And just I encourage you guys to keep up with it because it's really important. It matters. It matters what's going on in the Middle East, and it matters how the U.S. is interacting with it. There's nothing you can do but pray at this point, because I don't see anything at this in the near future, because they're talking about a ceasefire and there's still like Palestinians being unalived. Like it's insane to me, absolutely insane. So just keep your prayers up. You know, you guys, it's God's will, and God will cover them and keep them, and that's the best thing that we can do at this point. Let's get into some national news real quick. All right, y'all. Whew, national news, child. All right, so we have Luigi. It's Mangione. Luigi Mangione, the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi. Remember her ass? Has released a statement claiming that she is urging prosecutors to give the alleged unaliver Luigi Mangione the unaliving penalty. Y'all know we can't talk. We have to talk a certain way on YouTube, otherwise the algorithm hits us a certain way. But Luigi Mangione was arrested and charged with unaliving after he allegedly unalived the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in broad daylight. Bondi claims that the unaliving was premeditated and cold-blooded. She posted or put out a press release and said Luigi Mangione's unaliving of Brian Thompson, an innocent man and father of 2 young children, was a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. After careful consideration, I have directed federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty, the unaliving penalty, in this case as we carry out President Trump's agenda to stop violent crime and make America safe again, which is real funny and rich coming from y'all's quote unquote President Trump, because he's talking about making America safe again, and he wants to have this like agenda to stop violent crime, but he pardoned all of the January 6th insurrectionists. WTF, people? What are you talking about? What does that even mean? You have a violent talking about you're stopping crime, or that you want to stop crime agenda, but you pardon people that attacked the Capitol of the United States of America. What? Oh, Jesus. It's the crack for me. It's the crack. Take a look at what's going on.
We want to take you to some...
Oh, actually, hold on. Let me do it here. Take a look.
We want to take you to some breaking news right now for an update to the case of an accused United Healthcare CEO killer, Luigi Mangione. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Chanel Call live in a newsroom for us. Chanel, what can you tell us?
Yeah, coming to you live once again from our breaking news desk this morning, Mugo. And we just got this release from the U.S. Justice Department moments ago. I want to read to you part of it, coming from Attorney General Pamela Bondi's office. It says, quote, Luigi Mangione's murder of Brian Thompson, an innocent man and father of 2 young children, was a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. After careful consideration, I've directed federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty in this case as we carry out President Trump's agenda to stop violent crime and make America safe again. It goes on to say that the murder was an act of political violence and that Mangione's actions involved substantial planning and premeditation. I also want to mention that we knew that this was a possibility, Mugo, after Luigi Mangione was charged federally back in December. He first faced 11 state charges. That included murder as an act of terrorism, and this is in connection to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione has so far pleaded not guilty to those state charges, but the federal charges, they allow prosecutors to pursue the death penalty against him. Today, now, when we talk about capital punishment, AG Pam Bondi directing federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty in this case. We know Mangione has not yet entered a plea in that federal case, but prosecutors have already said that these 2 state cases and federal cases will essentially proceed on parallel tracks. attacks, with the state charges expected to go to trial first.
Wow, some very important background and context there. Chanel Call, thank you so much.
So I like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, listen, at the end of the day, like, I'm not condoning what old boy did, what he allegedly did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we kind of did it, but it is what it is. He has his right to due process. But my problem is that when the Trump administration is sitting here saying that, first of all, you have 4,000 other things that you could be worrying about right now than this particular case for you to even deal with it. It's not even at the Supreme Court level. So why are you even worried about it? Like, I don't get it, but it is what it is. This particular administration is probably one of the most hypocritical administrations in existence, and that ever was. So why am I surprised? Let's go ahead and move on to this next thing that's going on that I think that is super important and why these things matter. So there's special elections that are happening today. Dr. Holt says, I'm booking a flight to Mercury. I'm tired. It's too much. I wouldn't go to Mercury. It's a little too hot there. I don't think you'll enjoy it. It's like right next to the sun. So be careful. Stevie says, child, I'm tired of paying money with her bags on her. Okay, I can't. Get some Clinique. Stevie, you're a mess. Anyway, these special elections are super important. There's a special election that's happening in Wisconsin, and this is for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And then we have a special election that's happening in Florida. All of these are super important, and after this, I want to tell you why I think it matters, because I know a lot of us are not in those states, but it's important that we know about them, and it's important that we help push to get people to get energized to go out there and vote. But let's take a look at what's happening and why these special elections are, and what's the deal with them. Take a look.
The race for Wisconsin Supreme Court is now the most expensive court race in American history. Mega donors are backing both candidates. Our political partners at WisPolitics report billionaire Elon Musk made a $1.2 million donation to Schimmel's campaign this week. President Donald Trump is also backing Schimmel. The president spoke from the Oval Office about how crucial this election is.
Having Wisconsin is a very big, we won it early and big. But winning Wisconsin's a big deal. So therefore, the Supreme Court choice, that is the one you're talking about right now. It's a big race.
On the other side, Crawford is also receiving money from billionaire donors. Liberal mega donor George Soros sent Crawford $1 million, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has also donated $500,000 to the Crawford campaign. Despite the many partisan donors backing Crawford and Schimmel, the race is nonpartisan. Earlier today on 12 News This Morning, I asked ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott about how this election could send a message to Washington.
But you have Democrats and Republicans that are calling this likely one of the most consequential elections since President Donald Trump took office. And the reason why is because so many really see this as a litmus test, really the first time that voters may get the chance to weigh in on President Donald Trump's agenda. And so Democrats are really hoping that this becomes a referendum for President Trump's agenda nationally. That's the message that they want to send back to the White House. But also really at a state level here, this is a critical battleground state. It's a purple state. And of course, this could shift the balance of power on the state Supreme Court. And we know that will have big implications, not only for future rulings on abortion rights, but also election laws, voting laws as well, and potentially the way the maps are redrawn for Congress in the state, too.
So this matters. How maps are drawn, how the redlining and everything that the Republicans were doing in some of the other elections that we've had, all of that matters. So these elections do matter, and these swing states matter. And even though we say, oh well, we don't have to worry about them because we're in blue states, blah blah. Swing states matter, and a lot of swing states are not blue; they're purple, or they are, again, swinging. So we have to make sure that they're in a space for them to vote the way it needs to be voting. Timothy says, hypocritical now, dictatorship more like it. Yes, indeed. And I don't think that this country is turned into a dictatorship yet. I think we're in an oligarchy. I really do. And I think we've been in an oligarchy for a while because I do, well, not as much as now. Like, this has been blatant oligarchy. It's one thing when you have campaign donors and lobbyists that kind of run certain things or try to influence certain things. But now we're in a space where it's like, oh, I paid you to be in a space, like, you have to do exactly what I say. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. But yeah, excellent thoughts on there, Timothy there. Let's see. Stevie says, Elon Musk has already meddled in the election in Wisconsin. Yeah, let's talk about that, Stevie. Giving out $2 million. Like, last time I checked, that was illegal. It was called quid pro quo. We don't do that. But, you know, everybody's doing what the hell they want to do nowadays. I don't know. Help us, Lord. Help us, Jesus. Help us. I'm just going to say it, and I want everyone else to say it with me. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. It is authoritarianism. Yes. Limited freedoms. This is how Hitler took over Germany. Exactly how he took over Germany. Well, not exactly, but yes, the same playbook. Exactly. Stevie, you know your history, girl. All right, girl. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and take another quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna get into the headlines today. And the it's just a lot going on. It's so much. I don't know how. Like, I understand the whole thing about, like, you know, the whole thing of like flooding the zone, but this is like a lot. This is a lot. But we'll be right back. We're gonna get into more of this right after the show, or right after the commercial. Stay tuned, and don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. See you on the other side.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
And we're black, y'all. Black by popular demand. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also, if you are not joined on our Patreon, go ahead and do so by going to patreon.com/Pyro Media. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and finish this up and get into the rest of this show on today. Let's do a quick in remembrance again. Today marks the birthday, or heavenly birthday, of Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was unalive. He was Sean Michael Maurice Taylor, was an American football player, free safety for the Washington Redskins of the NFL. He was drafted by the Redskins with the 5th overall pick of the 2004 NFL draft, where he played for 4 seasons until his unaliving in 2007. During the 2007 NFL season, Taylor was pow-powed by intruders at his Miami area home and passed away rather 10 days later on November 27th. His unaliving led to the outpouring of national support and sympathy, especially in the Washington, D.C. area, where Taylor had been a fan favorite as a Redskin, and the Miami area where he had starred in high school and college. Posthumously, he earned a second Pro Bowl selection and first team All-Pro honors. So we send prayers and hearts out to the family, because it's probably still grieving, because grieving has no time frame and no limits. And yes, RIP, Michaela, RIP to him. Rest in power, King. All right, y'all, let's get into these headlines, because ciao. It's a lot going on. All right, y'all. Hold on, let's see what Timothy said over here. Timothy said, and Hitler did it in a shorter amount of time. Oh, yes, he was talking about what Stevie had said in the last one. It says limited freedoms. This is how Hitler took over Germany. And Timothy said, and Hitler did it in a shorter amount of time with no social media. Absolutely. Which is scary, because social media is a powerhouse now, right? So these are strange times. You got to watch the space, y'all. This is not something that, people are saying, oh, well, people are being conspiracy theorists. People are, taking it too seriously, or, all right, that's what we said the first time, and then Trump won. We thought that Trump was going to, lose to Hillary. And then we thought it again when we was like, oh, yeah, Kamala got it in the bag. All right, y'all. Y'all keep playing around. We'll see. But speaking of y'all's current president, one of the things that I want to talk about is something that we need to be very, very cautious of. This rhetoric, when we should be focusing on, and I want to constantly bring up this Signal Gate situation and how they leaked or they were talking about war plans on a Signal group chat. Okay, but instead of us talking about that, instead of y'all's president and commander-in-chief having a conversation about how he's going to deal with that, he's going to actually talk about how he wants to go ahead and take over Greenland take over or do a third term. How, Sway? How? What are you talking about, girl? At what point in time, I really looked at that when they were talking about it. At first I was like, all right, girl. I was like, okay, it's fine. He's just joking. He's on crack. Maybe he smoked a little of that ketamine that Elon had. Maybe some of the ketamine fell into his McDonald's burger. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. But this is wild. But then I thought about it. Trump doesn't really say stuff lately, at least from recently. He doesn't say stuff that he's not really going to pursue. And he doesn't normally say stuff that his people, because he's a puppet. I don't think that he's actually thinking of these things on his own. He's not that smart. I think the people who are behind him, like Vought, and the people who are behind him, like Elon Musk, and all these other oligarchies, are putting stuff in his head. The people who are the founders of and architects of Project 2025, the people who are really the heads of MAGA, are the ones that are pulling his coat strings and his coattails. So I thought about it, I was like, how is he going to run for a third term? How is this even making sense? This is weird. Take a look at what I saw here.
It's a move that would defy the Constitution. President Donald Trump, 2 months into his second term, says he's considering a third.
In a phone call with NBC News, Trump said, quote, there are methods which you could do it, including having Vice President J.D. Vance run for president, then cede power back to Trump if they won. Trump added that's one approach and that there, quote, are others too.
It's an idea the president and his allies have floated several times before. Tonight, Casey Decker verifies whether Trump could be eligible to seek re-election in 2028.
Verify viewers emailed us to ask, once those 4 years are up, will he be eligible for re-election in 2028? So, using these sources, let's verify. The answer is no. Trump will not be eligible to run again in 2028. This is the final term he will be allowed to serve as president. The 22nd Amendment of the U.S. Constitution establishes term limits for presidents. It says, quote, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Trump was elected president once already in 2016 and now for the second time in 2024, making him ineligible to be elected a third time. Only one president has ever served 2 terms that weren't back-to-back, Grover Cleveland. He was first elected in 1884, lost in 1888, but ran and won again in 1892. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
So these things can happen. There are loopholes. Most sane, rational presidents don't even think about this. But this is not a rational president. He's an anomaly. This is something that Jasmine Crockett had said before. This is an anomaly. Trump is an anomaly. His energy, the way he has energized his base is an anomaly. It's not something that we're accustomed to. So Sunny Hassan had said something that was really interesting. Like, we're trying to play by a rule book that the other side has thrown out. And so we're at a point right now where we just have to kind of like be real about certain things and not take things for granted, which brings me to my point in the holding space. So let's hold space for a second and let's have a conversation about what's really going on. It's time to hold it or fold it. And this is something that my dad used to tell me all the time. And I didn't understand it at first. And a lot of times people will sit there, and say, oh, well, this is just Trump. This is just his rhetoric. He's just trying to distract. And that very well may be. But at the end of the day, we still have to keep our eye on the ball. We still have to learn when it's time to pop off and when it's time not to. When it's time to sit there and reassess things, and when it's time to pull forward. When it's time to really kind of think about, is he being serious, or when I think every time that we hear him say something, we should take it seriously, because we didn't think that him changing or changing the tax code was in the first administration, in his first term, was going to be a serious thing, and he did. We didn't think that him nominating certain people to office would come through, like Pete Hegseth. We thought that people were going to be like, oh, he's not popular, and now he is the Secretary of Defense. Okay? And this is not just with him. This is also with people on our side too. It's time for them to pop off. Cory Booker is literally doing the work of Chuck Schumer. By himself, 24 hours he's been going. The man's a beast. Now, whether people think it's performative or not, what pisses me off about our side sometimes, about the left sometimes, is that we get into a space of like, oh, well, we just want to be pessimistic about everything. You said that you wanted the Democrats to be more fierce. You wanted the Democrats to do something. So now Cory Booker is doing something. And now you still are complaining about, oh, well, it's performative or it's an issue. Okay, y'all, what do you want? It's better than sitting on your buttons or your thumbs and spinning. Girl. But you don't have a problem with him running around doing his thing with his sick house and shit. Wake up and smell the culotta, y'all. Learn when to hold it and when to fold it. And this applies to everything in your life, whether it be friends, family, whatever. Learn when to hold it and when to fold it. Because there's going to be times where you want to pop off, and it's not necessary. When people show you who they are, believe them. The first time. Not the first term, not the second term. When they act accordingly, let them stay where they are at. If people position themselves in a space, leave them there. We can't become progressive and move forward if you're waiting for someone else. So if you're not on the road with me and you made a turn on whatever way or jackass lane, that's on you, girl. Go about your business. So when Trump is doing what he's doing, don't be surprised. He showed you who he was and what he was capable of in the first term. People warned you what he was going to be like during the President Biden's term, because he was still acting a fool and he wasn't even in office. And now he's showing you again that, hey, I'm going to do this. He's probably going to try to take Greenland. He's probably going to try to take Canada. We're going to have a very different set of allies, I believe, by the end of his term. And that's a scary situation. Wake up and smell the culotta. Let me know your thoughts and how you feel about everything. If you're watching on the replay, put it in the comments. But before I go, I want to do this new segment that I like to call Let It Burn. And Let It Burn is just some things. It's kind of like in the beginning of the show, in the old Pyro Power Hours, where I would find different quotes or whatever. But I want to throw it in the bucket and burn it. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Take a look at this, and then I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a blessed and fabulous day, a week rather, and I will see you guys hopefully on Friday. If not, for sure on Monday. We have a new schedule. It's going to be Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday. And I don't know if Fridays are always going to be live, but for sure Monday and Wednesdays at 5, we will be live. So I will see you guys on the other side. Until then, stay blessed, stay stress-free, and peace out. God bless y'all.
I cannot see myself and form my identity or my alignment with God based off of the limited experiences that you have and see. Even the opinions that you form with the the minuscule details that you have, it does not define me as a person. And it will go awry if I start to be who I'm not supposed to be because I'm so interested in showing you that I'm not who you think I am. Your misrepresentation of me does not define me, does not fulfill my purpose. It will not shape the path before me.
Create a great day, y'all. And until then, remember, your voice matters. And don't let anybody else tell you different. Peace, y'all.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.